Hello and welcome back to the Florida Men Gaming. My name is Furion and today we're going to be playing Magic the Gathering Arena. For today's video we're going to go through and do another series of jump-in events, looking to collect more rares to build out some good decks for our attempt to create a completely free-to-play experience that's competitive. Right now we are looking here at the starter screen, but before we get into the actual selection and deck play, I would like to ask that you please look down at the bottom of the video here and hit the like button. Also, if you haven't subscribed to the channel before, go ahead and subscribe. We'd love your support. If you are subscribed, go ahead and hit the little bell for notifications when new content comes up. Please leave a comment down below. We would love to get your feedback. Let us know what we're doing that you like, what we're doing that you don't like, if there's anything you'd like us to try. And if you're over there on Rumble, go ahead and smash that Rumble button. Okay, so all the formalities out of the way, let's go ahead and take a look at what we get here. So, Shambling, Spellcraft, and Dungeon of the Mad Mage. Not gonna lie, not really a huge fan of the dungeon delving mechanic, at least not with what we would get out of a blue-white version. Of the two, Spellcraft and Shambling, I'm not sure which of those I like more. Let's see what we get out of Shambling. And let's go ahead and pair it with Roguish. It's probably not going to be an ideal deck for what we're trying to find piecewise, but let's take a quick look and see what we've gained here. So, we get a Nighthawk Scavenger and Champion of the Perished. So those are our two rares. Everything else here looks like it can be somewhat effective. Shambling Ghast is a good staple in a lot of black decks, so if we get enough black pieces that we like, we could create a pretty effective deck there. Okay, this is a playable deck. Let's go ahead and see if we can get our free uncommon, and then we'll see if we can find some colors we're more in tune with. Typically, my preference, I like to play in the Naya band of colors, red, white, or green. Pairing them in any particular fashion. We did recently unlock the life gain deck that they provide you as a Precon, which is a really exciting deck, to have pretty much, like I said, for free. This is a relatively difficult hand to start with, but let's go ahead and keep it. Again, there's not really any stakes on this, so we'll go ahead and start with our tapped land. A lot of dual-face lands here. We'll go black next. Opponent showing Rakdos colors, getting down a Hobbling Zombie, so they also picked a zombie archetype. And let's go over the top. Next turn, I'll play down the Skitter Sneak and use that to trade with their Hobbling Zombie. Big body to the board. We'll follow it up with the Namana Sky Dancer. Ooh, that's a nice pump for the opponent. That will give us another counter on the Nighthawk Scavenger. Doesn't look like it's the Alchemy version, so that's not bad for us. Two less. So that'll be one in a blue, or two in a blue, I should say. Alright. Nighthawk Scavenger starting to climb up there in terms of life gain and stackable ability. Oh, looks like they've found a removal. That's unfortunate for us. Alright, they're coming in. We don't really have anything that can stop them, so we're going to let it through. Alright, big ol' 4/4 Berserker. That will start getting in the way of some of their more powerful critters here. Assuming they don't have more removal for us, we are now in a somewhat stable position, at least to stop that vampire spawn. Siege zombie coming down. Okay, that's an interesting play line there. Alright, our own Death Touch coming down. Let's go ahead and play the Rogue as well, give ourselves just as much possible ground defense as we can muster. And we'll go ahead and hold. Nice thing about the hobbling zombie is it will now take a good defensive position against the Bat Whisperer, allowing us to keep our Berserker to fend off the vampire spawn. The Black Bloom Rogue can fend off the 2/2 zombie tokens. It looks like the opponent is just going to do what it can to tap us down. Yikes, that is a big friend. Alright, let's go ahead and at least put the Dread Knight another turn away from being a threat to us and see if we can draw something a little more interesting. Alright, let's play the Mind Carver down, and we'll attach that to the Namana Sky Dancer. That will give us, again, just even more damage to put towards opponents here. Let's see if they move to attack. At some point they're going to have to. Alright, here comes the Bat Whisperer. And that is why we love Death Touch. Alright, here we have to assume comes the Mounted Dread Knight. We're going to bounce him back off the field here. That Siege Zombie is becoming a real pain in the butt. It'd be really nice to get our own Death Priest. Or our Crawl from the Cellar. If we could get our Nighthawk Scavenger back, that would be amazing. Does that pump field? It pumps Vampire. Okay, do they come downhill with the Dread Knight? Let's go ahead and kill the Vampire. Well, makes me feel better. Doesn't really help us in our game state. As a matter of fact, that's probably just going to be our death now as they overwhelm us with a series of piddly little friends. But on the bright side, we have a big berserker. Yeah, that's 11 damage that they can swing at us. We could stop at most 2 of it, so we're just going to swing through for defiance's sake. Hit him with a GG and back out. They've earned their uncommon. We'll go ahead and give it one more crack. Like in the previous video, we're not going to spend too much time, the previous jump-in video, we're not going to spend too much time hunting down the uncommons. It's a nice card to get, but it's also a lot of effort with a deck that's haphazardly slapped together, let's say. So you can run into some decks that are much better put together with the 2 halves that we're given, and rather than spend all day chasing it, we'll just go through the resources we had planned to spend here and hopefully get into some of the archetypes we're looking for. Alright, looks like our next opponent is coming in. We did acquire through the store the Wandering Emperor bundle. It was on sale for 2,700 gold. Figured, hey, you know, sometimes you can have a little bit of fun with that, so we decided to. Alright, we got the Death Priest. Interesting hand. I don't want to mulligan too much. It's 3 to equip, so we'll go ahead and play that just because we'll actually be able to equip it at some point here. We'll have the mana from our opener to do that. Just hopefully we draw into some creatures. Ooh, the opponent's also playing zombies. Alright, the Sepulchre Ghoul. Great sacrifice engine if you're ever running a sack steel deck. It doesn't cost any mana to sacrifice. Granted, you don't get a bonus card draw off of it, but if you're just looking to kill the creatures that come up off the board, that particular card is incredibly effective at that. Next turn we can Deadly Alliance. We also have that Crawl from the Cellar, so if they kill the Death Priest, we can grab it. They have their own Death Priest. Oh, that's good news. Let's actually take an interesting playline here. With the Crawl from the Cellar, we can make certain decisions which one might think are questionable. One of those being, do I sacrifice my Death Priest? And the answer is going to be yes. We're going to sacrifice the Death Priest. That way we take care of their Sepulchre Ghoul. That's gone from the field. Now we'll be able to Crawl from the Cellar the Death Priest back to our hand. If we get a zombie creature before that, though, we'll be able to play that out, then pump it with the Crawl from the Cellar. Oh, that sucks. Well done, opponent. You found a good playline. We still have the Crawl from the Cellar, so that's an upside. Hopefully they don't have another discard effect in hand, as that would be a little bit of a blowout. I'm pretty sure we're out of this one at this point. Death Priest does work very well with the Decayed mechanic. Let's go ahead and wake up the dragon. Opponent's going to get in for at least 3 with the Blood Researcher. You know what? It's not worth fighting it out as we have drawn nothing with this particular deck, so we're going to let it go through. And we're going to jump into the next archetype as, to be honest, this deck isn't really doing what I want it to do. We keep running into better versions of it across the table from us. So, like I said, uncommon wild cards are nice in this situation, but I'm not going to chase them down to that level of a degree. It's just not worth it at this point. So, here we go. We've got equipped Landfall and Party. I know that the Landfall typically gives the Kazandu Mammoth, which is a really exciting card to pick up. But seeing as how we are looking at Kamigawa as being a much longer lasting format going forward, I think I'm going to take a chance on the equipped. And I really don't want to get another Odric the Blood Cursed. So I guess we'll take a look at the Lost Mine of Phandelver and see who we pick up that way. So let's take a look at our acquisition here. We get Nadar, the Selfless Paladin, as our rare for the Lost Mine of Phandelver. Fantastic card. And we get the Ogre Head Helm for equipped. Really good card. CGB put out a video where he made use of it in a mono red deck, which was actually pretty effective. So that's exciting. We get another Rabbit Battery. Ranger's Hawk is less exciting, but some of these cards will actually be pretty exciting to have as we build out other decks. Borrowed Time is always good to get those without having to use wild cards to fill the collection. Kazul's Fury is a fun one. So yeah, overall, pretty satisfied with what we've found in this particular combination. We'll just have to see how it goes. So, with that, let's go ahead and jump in. Give it a 1 to 2 game swing to try and acquire that wild card. Then we'll do one more for this one. Don't want to do more than 3,000 gold today playing this format. And that's a free mulligan. Let's see if we can get something a little closer to casting. Okay. So with that, we're going to discard the Planar Ally. That's kind of a long way. Oh wait, it's a free mulligan. Whoops. Haha. So we're going to do the Armory Veteran, then we'll do the Dragon Spark Reactor, followed by the Delver's Torch. The nice thing about equipping the Armory Veteran is we will get the Menace counter. Let's see if the opponent's running removal right away. Another black-green, so Elder Fang Disciple. Well, you're no fun. Huh. We're going to go ahead and discard the Silversmith. Alright, Dragon Spark. Let's see if they want to trade, otherwise we'll just take 2 damage off them. I mean, it wouldn't be a trade, but, you know, let's see if they want to chump. Delver's Torch is going to be, I think, the more important keep, as the dungeon delving mechanic does give us a lot more long-term play lines. So as much as I would hate to lose an Ogre Head Helm if we get targeted by a hand hate spell, it might be the one we have to do. There's another mana. That is good. Let's go ahead and play down the Delver's Torch. And we'll play down the Ogre Head Helm. That'll actually give us a nice little chump blocker, especially because we don't have the mana to equip either of them this turn. If we get one more mana for the next turn and we can play down the Planar Ally, we are going to try and avoid their hand hate, potentially, and play that down. Rotting Blight Priest. Do they sacrifice? They don't have the mana for it, so do they try swinging in? We're going to let the 1 damage come through. I've done the math, and it's not in our favor. Alright, let's go ahead and hit the Lost Mine of Phandelver. Cloister Gargoyle is a great pickup. Right now we are winning the race, so we're not in any rush to block and start triggering either the Blight Priest or the Relic Vial. If we were to block either of them, we would go after the Blight Priest. Alright, so there goes the Delver's Torch. Not the Delver's Torch, but the Armory Veteran, which that's a shame because that card did have potential to carry us a little longer there. Alright, let's go ahead and blow up the Blight Priest. That particular card was going to continue to loom over our head here, and we're going to decline that. We have 2 cards that we really want to get to the board, so we're not going to give up our 2/2 just yet. The opponent is down to 9, so far we're doing a pretty good job just keeping them within range. Took away at least a big part of their early game plan. I've seen versions of this deck created just in the standard constructed queues, and it is a very effective build out. I don't quite know what the green mana is for yet though. They've got a lot of green on the board, but I haven't seen anything that uses it come through. So I guess we'll have to wait and see there. Zoth Consumption. Okay, interesting. That's a heap of mana to play it. Alright, we're going to go ahead and use the Cloister Gargoyle to get the trigger. Go ahead and Delver's Torch onto the Ogrehead Helm and swing in. And we'll decline on that Helm once more. That's a nice big body to stand in front of the Elder Fang. Highlighting it, I'm hoping to draw their attention to that and away from the Ogrehead. Taborax. That is a good card. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to avoid pumping the Taborax here. We're going to let that 1/1 through. And then this coming turn, we're going to put down our big Planar Ally. And by big, I mean just kind of mission critical at this point. I still don't see the green mana. The opponent is once again looking at the Ogrehead Helm, kind of looking across the board, so I wonder if they're sitting on some type of removal. Alrighty, no blocks. Alright, let's go ahead and play down the land. Drop in the ally. Even if we have to trade here, getting the dungeon ticker from the ogre head helm will be fine. Trade, of course, being if they elect to sacrifice with the relic vial, pump the tabaraks, and then go to block with it. But right now we're winning the race. Our cloister gargoyle's about to get huge, so now we're in a really good position. And then next turn we're going to handcuff the tabaraks and swing home for victory, I hope. That unstoppable ogre is a good pickup. I have 7 damage in the air alone, assuming of course they don't hit us with some kind of removal. Alrighty, opponent goes into their next turn. Let's see what they've got for us. Oh boy. Well, that puts it a little more out of range. Let's see if they elect to attack in here. They don't. Well, let's go ahead and stop that hill giant herd gorger from doing anything, and we'll swing in. Let's go ahead and max damage here. Force them to block with everything they've got. Might have been a dangerous play to put ourselves to within range of the hill giant. If they have a way to kill the unstoppable ogre, they do have plenty of ways to block here that keeps them alive. So, we'll have to see what happens. That's not the right block. You gotta block one of the 2 flyers. You're gonna lose your tabaraks. Oh, but do they gain back life from the Elder Fang? Nope. It doesn't come back in time, ladies and gentlemen. We managed to pull it out. Kind of like when you lose a pest. So, we get the uncommon off of that deck. A couple of cards that can be exciting. A couple of cards we're not too excited about because it's not the direction we're trying to go, but we'll take it anyway. Go ahead and claim the victory prize. We'll go ahead and claim the uncommon card reward, Defend the Celestis. Cool. And we'll go ahead and resign this event. Kick it in one more time. Let's see, Enchanting and Vampires. So this one you would get Florian, the Valdaran Scion. I don't know that we're doing much with Vampires though. I think we're going to lean towards trying to draw into a second green, so we're going to go Enchanting again. And we're going to go Wolfpack. I think this is actually a deck we've already built on camera, which is really exciting. So mono green, enchantments, and wolves. So we should have a second Descendant pack leader. There's that puppy. And then what was our... Was it the Kami of Transience, maybe? Do we see the Kami? Zeus's Many Journeys, Master's Rebuke, Outland Liberator, Sporeback, Florahedron. Oh, they gave us a Weaver of Harmony. Okay, so you copy the triggered ability. We'll give it a shot. I mean, this will be exciting. I do like the Weaver of Blossoms. Just really any werewolves for me are just a fun thing. They're part of my favorite group of creatures in the game, so we're excited to keep this. Infestation Werewolf. Interesting. I don't even remember that particular card. Okay. Well, let's see if we can't grab a quick victory. It is nice in these mashups when you play a monocolored deck. They do provide a really good play line, as you don't have to try and scramble to find your pieces. As long as you have the initial two, you're in good shape. This one, though, we're going to mulligan. That's better. Okay. Pack leader on one. This is a really nice card to have in either the mono green shells or the werewolf shells. So excited to have that for sure. We'll do the Tangled Florahedron on 2, give ourselves a little bit of ramp here, and just ping them for 2 damage. Got a really good ramp setup here. Looks like they went for the blue-white Delver deck, so that's exciting. We get 2 pumps onto the Ascendant Pack Leader, 1 from the 4 mana cost creature and 1 from its ETB effect, the Enter the Battlefield effect. So that's very exciting. Yuan Ti Malison, that would be the rare. Good to know what rare was in that set. I wasn't really excited for it, wasn't wanting to play it, but now that we see it, I'm even more excited that we didn't grab it. Go ahead and keep the pressure on. Opponent letting it through. Their creature is unblockable, so they're going to get 2 looks in the dungeon if they choose to go with the Delver's Torch this turn. They may not, though. They might try and play something else down. Very interesting card design there. The many faces of Creepy. Looks like a nightmare right out of Alice in Wonderland. Alright, so they go to the Lost Mine of Phandelver and Scry. We now get the night side. Because we're on the night side and this pumps the pack leader, we're going to go ahead and pump it up. And we'll take a quick swing for victory. Even if they have... Whoops. Well, that worked out well for them. Wasn't sure what they would have had in hand. I didn't think they would have got a Wandering Emperor out of the various choices that they would have had, but it looks like we definitely got through them very quickly. So, once again, mono green in the jump in, very effective. I'm very excited that we got to run that. And you know what? Because we're feeling good coming off that, we're going to do one more. Why not? We have more gold than I thought we would at this point, so we're going to go ahead and use it. A Go Blank, that is a great card. So, Resign. One more 1,000 gold entry. And do we want Disturbed? We already, like I've said in previous videos, we have a lot of the Roiling pack because of the Precon deck. Ooh, I do want Celestial. Let's see if we get the Righteous Valkyrie there. Let's take a quick look at our options here. Righteous Valkyrie, that is one of my all-time favorite cards, and this is the other one I was hoping to find, the Dorothea Vengeful Victim. I thought that would be the piece there, so that's exciting. A lot of nice recursion enchantments. This will actually probably be a pretty effective deck. So let's go ahead and just jump right in. Another Planar Ally. Okay. So we'll give it 1 or 2 matches here, try and grab that uncommon, give you guys a little more to watch. Again, the whole purpose of this deck design and what we're trying to accomplish with this is really give ourselves a good start. Like, what we want to do here is find cheap ways to acquire as many rares as we can without rolling the dice on packs, and this gives us a better chance to pick the rares. It's not quite as pinpoint as a wild card because of the variability of what they allow us to have, but we do have a better chance than average to get it right. So This is an interesting card. It would be a 6 mana cost card. We're really looking for land at this point. Next turn, if we don't get it, we're going to have to play the Valkyrie Sword just to keep our hand close enough to empty. Worst case, if we needed to do some silliness, we could return it back to hand and then put it out for max mana cost later on in the game. But we really need 1 more mana. Alright, that will do. It gives us something. Opponent electing not to attack through. There's that other mana. Let's go ahead and play down the Valkyrie. Now that's a big enough body to keep the other 2 creatures at bay. Let's see what they elect to do here. They've got a lot of blue mana. And there's a Mind Link mech. That is a big body card. Let's see if we can bait them this coming turn. That's 1 and 2 blue. Or no, that's 1 and a blue. What am I doing? I can't read. It's not a kicker cost, it's the cleave cost. I really wish that card had flash. That would be a very useful battlefield trick. Go ahead and pass it up. Let them try and swing in with their big Mind Linker and hit ourselves with that Beaming Defiance. Futurist Sentinel. That is a big body. Interesting choice. They could have copied the Soul Knife Spy and gotten the damage equals card draw effect, but they chose not to. Alright, let's go ahead and pass. And you can crash into us. That is totally fine. We appreciate you coming to play. Alright, crew 3 on that big ol' 6/6. So we're gonna hit it with the Alchemist's Retrieval here next turn when they go to move in with it. Yikes, that's a big, big boy. Be really nice to draw some mana here. There's a mana. Alright. Don't have enough to fight off that ward just yet, so let's go ahead and play down the Twin Blade. And we will do the Valkyrie Sword. Futurist Sentinel coming back down. Interesting that they're not going for the damage. We've probably done enough. Not entirely sure what I'm trying to accomplish there, but we're going to go ahead and start trying to chip away at them. Twin Blade Geist now up to a 3-2. Looks like they could have potentially a bounce effect in hand. But let's go ahead and start chipping away. This will at least potentially trade with the big bodies if they want to put one in the way, or it will give us a nice little ding off the top of their health. Could start clearing the skies for us. A lot of useful effects here from the Twin Blade Geist. So we're going to take him down to 14. Skyclave Squid. Okay. It will be nice to give the Twin Blade Geist the infantry armaments. Let's see if they bounce it. Once again, it'd be really nice to get at least one more mana so I can pay the ward cost on the Rhyme Shield. Oops, they are tapping down creatures, I think, accidentally here. There's the mana we're looking for. Let's go ahead and pacify the Rhyme Shield first. I'm actually not as worried about it. We have the chump blocking ability. They don't have enough in the air just yet, so that'll be good. Do they have counter magic? That's another good question. Again, really wish the Angel Heart had the indestructible with a flash, or until the beginning of your next turn would be nice as well, because then we could play it, gain the health, protect ourselves, use it as a nice impenetrable wall for the Futurist. But alas, that is not the case. Let's see if the opponent is smart enough to tap down the Rhyme Shield. Doesn't look like it. Looks like they're going to let it go. Oh, that is a good pickup for us. Let's start picking up our health here. Got a nice chump blocker in that Angel Heart for the Futurist. Gonna go ahead and send the Twin Blade home. Starting to clear the path in the air, which is good. Opponent is sitting on a lot of cards in hand, and they've got a heap of mana. I can't even begin to imagine what they might not be playing. Devoted Paladin. Oh my. So that's going to be a big attack coming. Do they tap all in? Did you miss your activation phase on the Sentinel? Looks like they're trying to make it happen. There it is. Alright, here comes the big boy. Here comes everybody. So this is going to be painful. We're going to take 12 damage here. On the bright side, we'll get some of this back. And we get to further clear the air. Do they have pump? They might. They're touching that card as if they do. If we lose the Righteous Valkyrie, it's a coup. What did that card do? Okay. Yep, there's the Valkyrie gone, so that's not good. Borrowed Time is a big pickup. Okay, so now we're in a much better position. We can fend off a few attacks here. So we're going to go ahead and keep... Oh, maybe not. Where do you put your focus? Definitely not. Alrighty. Do you go all in again? Where do you put your double strike? Okay. On the 1-1. And is everybody coming into the pool? Yes. Alright, so that's 3, 6, 9, 12, 13, 14, 15 damage coming down. I can stop 3, 6 of it. So we lose. Well, we'll do the 2. And with that, I can't math because they did 16 damage. And we lost that match. So we'll give it one more crack just because, you know, we're here. Why not? It's going to be a little bit of a long video. You don't have to stick around if you don't want. Appreciate you doing it though. Again, you know, the whole purpose of this particular account in this video series is to showcase the different kinds of rares that you can find on a free-to-play model. This is a mulligan. That is... we'll keep that. See what happens. See if we can draw into some blue. Anyway, all that to say, we are really trying to, even though there was a very disappointing talk recently from the Wizards of the Coast about their economy and how expensive it is to play this game, and that they honestly didn't really seem like care too much. We're trying to show that it is possible to play this game and still have a good time while maintaining a very active and capable, you know, stable of cards, finding them in unique ways, and giving yourself the opportunity to just have all sorts of fun. I'm going to go ahead and hold. We want to save the Dorothea until we have a creature we want to attach it to. I don't trust attaching it to the Brinecomer, as that's a little too weak of a target here. There's a heated debate. So they have killed it, but that's okay, because again, you know, it'll give us something to attach to later, as long as they don't have graveyard hate. Let's go ahead and play the Valkyrie, and we'll pick up the ally since we have the mana for it. Go ahead and hit him for 2. Armory Veteran, so it looks like they're playing the Equips deck that we had earlier, probably an Ogre Head Helm somewhere. Okay, you can go ahead and take that. I shouldn't have played that, but let's go ahead and put down the Youthful Valkyrie. And that comes down at instant speed. I'm going to wait till I get a little bit more of a significant pump here on the Valkyrie before I try and attach to it. Want to make sure it survives. So we're going to play the Planar Ally next turn, and that should give us what we need. Go ahead and pass. That is a good card. We'll take 4 damage just so we can stop that. Let's go ahead and hit him with the big oopsie. Stalwart Valkyrie, that'll give us a creature. That's going to be a yikes. There's the heated debate, so I'm really glad we still didn't use that Dorothea. Alright, so this is where it's going to be a little dicey. Five toughness, I believe, puts us out of range of a lot of their attack spells, so we might be okay now that we had that next angel that hit the field. I really wish I'd pre-read that. I thought it allowed me to give a -2, -0 on attack to other creatures. As it turns out, I was wrong. Let's see if they have what it takes to knock the Stalwart Valkyrie out of the sky. Uh-oh. That's not good. That is a big, big hit. Have to hope for a borrowed time here. Opponent doesn't care. They're swinging through for victory. Well, at least make them earn it. They do remember they have trample, right? Yep, they figured it out. Well, unfortunately, ladies and gentlemen, because I make poor choices, and I believe it's read the effing card, RTFC, as someone on Twitter put it recently, I have lost myself the game. With that, I thank you for being here. This is Furion from the Florida Men Gaming. We're going to sign off for now. We will see you in the next one.